Hello everyone, your girl Tay here, and I'm bringing you another Let's Talk Wild podcast episode. Today is June 27th, 2024, and this is episode 63, Planet of the Apes, Primates, and Pop Culture. Primates, apes, lemurs, and monkeys, they all have made their way into Hollywood and won the hearts of people around the world. For this episode, I'll discuss the different species of primates that have left their legacy in pop culture. But before we get into that, make sure you guys follow and subscribe to the podcast on all podcasting and social media platforms. Sign up to become a podcast member. You could go to my podcast website on Buzzsprout to sign up. I'll have the link in the description box. Also, head to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and check out the videos over there. Once you're done listening over here, you guys already know the drill. Now, let's talk wild. What are primates? Humans, apes, lemurs, and monkeys. We all are a part of this mammal taxonomic order because of our similar features. Some people confuse apes with monkeys and vice versa. An easy way to distinguish between the two is that monkeys have tails and apes do not. Lemurs have tails too, but they are easily identified by their large eyes and are found in Madagascar and its nearby islands. Monkeys are classified into two groups, Old World and New World. The old can be found in Africa and Asia, and the new in Central and South America. The old are more closely related to apes and usually have flatter faces, narrow nostrils, and opposable thumbs for grasping objects. The new have broad noses with their nostrils set spaced apart. They don't possess the dexterity and aren't handy with their hands like the olds, but they do have a long prehensile tail that helps them grasp things. So they're not good with their hands, they're good with their tails. Now, apes are classified into two groups, the great apes and the lesser apes. The greats consist of the gorillas, chimpanzees, bonobos, and orangutans. The lessers consist of the gibbons and siamangs. One of the most famous great apes we know is Bubbles the chimpanzee, the former pet of legendary musician, the king of pop, Michael Jackson. Bubbles was reportedly born in a biomedical laboratory in 1983. He was taken from his mother when he was just a baby and given to a Hollywood trainer who then gave him to be a pet for Jackson. Bubbles is still alive and doing well. He now lives at the Center for Great Apes Sanctuary in Florida. He's been there since March of 2005. And according to the sanctuary, despite the fact that he is very photogenic, Bubbles is difficult to photograph because he does not like the camera. He often will turn his back when he sees a camera, end quote. To me, in my opinion, it seems as though he just wants to relax. He, had a camera, had the spotlight on him for so many years when he was, with Michael Jackson. So now he gets to live at this sanctuary and just live his life and mind his business, okay? So he said, no pictures, please. Bubbles is on his Black China. Cut the cameras. Did it. Let's get into another chimpanzee, a king, okay? Caesar, the chimpanzee king of the ape colony and leader of the ape army from the Planet of the Apes franchise, who had such a good relationship with humans but grew to hate them because how they treated his species. He's brave, intelligent, and a great leader, but when I first watched the movie, I wasn't sure how his storyline would go. When he was over humans and rose against them, I was surprised because, I'm so used to films at this time when the film dropped. I was just so used to films portraying apes as these powerful but gentle giants, okay? So we got to see a great ape rise and conquer with the franchise, and it was great to see them, rise. Putting a species, still a primate nonetheless, but putting a species at the top of the chain and it not being human, what a plot twist. Now, y'all already know the chimpanzees couldn't have all the fun. The gorillas had to come through Hollywood beating their chests like a drum, okay? Okay, bars. Mighty Joe Young is a 1998 film about an orphan giant mountain gorilla whose mother was murdered by a poacher, and he was eventually sent to a wildlife preserve in Los Angeles. He is under the care of Jill Young, the woman who raised him, whose mother was also murdered by the same poacher. Jill promises to protect Joe, but Joe aids in protecting her from the poacher who killed killed their mothers, who is now in LA seeking revenge after his fingers were bitten off by Joe when he was a baby. So yeah, Joe was always gentle to me. And I think around this time when this movie dropped, it was like a uprising of humans understanding these apes, these creatures. So, I always love Mighty Joe Young. I haven't saw the movie in a long time, honey. I might have to watch it tonight. But Joe was always gentle to me. Unlike another gorilla we all know, King Kong. The king in his world is one of the 8 wonders of the world. He has multiple movies and remakes and has had legendary battles with the king of the monsters, Godzilla. I feel like with Kong, all his life he had to fight, and that's all he knows until he meets the lead actress in the film, Andaro. But unfortunately for Kong, the beauty killed the beast. That was a famous line at the end of the movie with the famous photo of Kong climbing the Empire State Building trying to protect Miss Darrow. It's so iconic, but at the end of the film, they're like, oh yeah, the planes, they got him, they shot at him, they got him, and the guy was like, no, the planes didn't kill Kong. Beauty killed the beast, right? So King Kong is iconic ape in Hollywood, but you know what else could be iconic? If you subscribe to Let's Talk Wow on all podcasting and social media platforms. Also, subscribe to the Let's Talk Wow YouTube channel for all celebrity and animal interaction videos and quick animal news topics. Now, let's crawl back into the show. Cue the animals. Now, y'all know we couldn't do a podcast episode without mentioning the famous animated primates. The evil monkey from Family Guy who lives in Chris's room closet has become a staple in meme culture. The underrated evil mutant chimpanzee, Mojo, Jojo, for the Powerpuff Girls. He just couldn't get right. He had this vendetta against the girls because he is overshadowed by them. Because before they were created, he was Professor Utonium's lab assistant. The blast that created the Powerpuff Girls also affected him, causing him to mutate, and he gained increased intelligence. Wow. You want to say that he wasn't as smart as the Powerpuff Girls because they always defeated him. But, he always gave a good battle. He has defeated them a couple of times as well. So I always thought it was like this back and forth, back and forth. Not he was legit the first child, okay, of Professor Utonium. And, then the girls came and he just felt like that, a kid that just wasn't enough anymore because he wasn't like the Powerpuff Girls. I don't know. Like Mojo, Jojo, go to therapy. It's not that serious. If you were a little bit nicer and not trying to take over, the world and all of that, I think the girls would be a little bit nicer to you. They would still make jokes about you, crack a little joke here and there. But it's like a brother-sister thing. Like if you would have just stayed with the family and just was chill, I think it would have just turned out different way. But he wanted to be the leader and the evil villain of Townsville. So yeah. Out of all the villains, I guess Mojo Jojo is one of those evil villains that the Powerpuff Girls, they got to bring everything with them, their A game, okay, because of the increased intelligence, and he got some powers too, some super strength. So when they go fight Mojo Jojo, they got to bring it all the way, okay? So yes, Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls has definitely, did his thing in pop culture. Let's not forget him. He's underrated, but we will not forget him, okay? Now, this next primate isn't as smart as Mojo Jojo. King Julian, the ring-tailed lemur from the film Madagascar. He's a little slow, in my opinion. We all know he likes to move it. I like to move it, okay? He likes to dance. He likes to shake it up a little bit. But in my opinion, overall, he's not a great king. He's not a great leader. And he benefits from having a great advisor. An advisor like Rafiki, the mandrill from Disney's The Lion King. We'll finally get a chance to see how Rafiki has helped shape Mufasa to be king in the next Lion King film, Mufasa. It hits theaters this year on December 20th. People often confuse Rafiki for a baboon, but he's a mandrill, and I love their facial features. Like, y'all don't understand. I talked about this before. I love mandrills. A lot of these apes, I love their facial features. But mandrills, I love their facial bone structure, the colors. That's why when I did my Juneteenth podcast episode, I'll leave it in the description box if you guys want to click it if you're watching on YouTube. But yeah, when I spoke about the black people and their black experiences, with animals, like a lot of our experiences of being called monkeys, and that we look like apes and we look like monkeys, and I'm trying to get my people out of finding that as a insult, because it's not an insult to me, because I find ape features, monkey features, primate features to be one of the most beautiful in the animal kingdom, in the animal world. So if you want to check that episode out, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll have it linked in the description box. But if you are listening on any other podcasting platforms, just scroll back, honey. Juneteenth of 2023. I did also repost the episode, okay? This year for Juneteenth. So just scroll a little ways back, honey, and you could check it out. But yes, I love mandrills. I love their bone structures. They're one of the most beautiful primates in my opinion. And yeah, that's what I like. Now I want to close this out with my favorite primate of them all, DK. Donkey Kong. DK. Donkey Kong. Yes. Donkey Kong. Yes. The stepchild of Nintendo, because he hasn't had a new game since 2014. Shout out to Panfro Games, okay, for that joke. Panfro, when he's like streaming and stuff, during the Nintendo Direct, he was streaming, and he was like, yes, Donkey Kong, the stepchild of Nintendo. Like, so I get that joke from him. So shout out to Panfro Games. Make sure y'all follow him on YouTube and Twitch, okay, for all your gaming things and whatnot, okay. But yeah, so we were watching the Nintendo Direct earlier this month, and it was announced that they'll be releasing Donkey Kong Country Returns HD in 2025 with 80 levels. So it's not really a new game, so the wait continues. Again, the stepchild is not getting anything. They be like throwing crumbs to DK, like, how can y'all do Donkey Kong like this? How can y'all do him like this? It's all about Mario. It's all about Mario. And Luigi got some stuff too, but not a new game, but I think he got like a remake of his game or something, or collector's edition. I don't know. But, I like Luigi too. But yeah, it's all about Mario. Like, come on. Can DK get some shine? Y'all been kicking out Pokemon stuff, Mario stuff, all these other people, honey. Where is DK? Okay, DK. Donkey Kong. The music. Honey, we're going to get into the music. But before we do, I remember my mother buying Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo, and we would watch my father play as my mother gave him tips on what to do. Now, my mother eventually ended up buying the guidebook to make sure they unlocked and collected everything. And I enjoyed those family moments. It was fun, and the music was top tier. Okay, David Wise, Evelyn Fisher, they created a soundtrack that still to this day brings me so much joy. It brings me back to so many memories of my childhood when my insomnia is like really messing with me and bothering me, and I want to go to bed. I'll relax and listen to David Wise's aquatic ambience. It's so soothing for me. Like, I don't know, good music and good times. Like, a time that I can't get back, but I can remember forever through Donkey Kong. And I love it. So, shout out to DK. Donkey Kong, DK. Donkey Kong, guys, period. These primates have pushed the limit and have created their own lane in pop culture, one to be respected like their power and intelligence. But what do you guys think? Let me know how you feel about today's topic, Planet of the Apes, primates in pop culture. Make sure you guys comment, follow, share, and subscribe to the podcast on all podcasting and social media platforms. Don't forget that you can now support the podcast by joining the monthly membership subscription. You could go to my podcast website on Buzzsprout to sign up. I have the link in the description box. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out my videos, shorts, and playlists of all things animals. Love yourself, one another, your pets, the animals, and the primates. Bye.